To those of you who are here because you're a bit more mystical minded and you're looking for the ways to be even more aligned with the universal rhythms, I have a message for you. So today is this 22nd of February, there is 222 alignment, and I actually want to talk a little bit more about how to put yourself into alignment and how to use the universe's support on your path. There's something I've written down today, and before we go into the message, I want to read it to you. So I wrote, the universe communicates through numbers, and 222 speaks directly to the soul, reminding us of balance, unity, and duality. Just as everything in life follows a natural rhythm, so must we align our thoughts, hearts, and actions with truth. The journey ahead is not random or chaotic, but part of a greater plan, one that we may not fully see, but can feel. Doubt disturbs the flow, but trust keeps us in harmony with this great design. In this moment of alignment, release any inner conflict of your soul, for your soul is meant to move in sync with the universe's plan. Know that unseen forces are always guiding you, just as they flow through all things. Quiet your mind, listen closely, and you will feel it. You're exactly where you need to be, and everything is unfolding as it should. And this is quite powerful, because as soon as some force inside of us goes out of balance, it can be mental, it can be emotional, or it can be physical. Like mentally we go out of balance when we start trusting our doubts, when we start overthinking something. Emotionally we go out of balance when we start really trusting our emotions too much, like fear and worry and resentment and envy and emotions like that. And physically we go out of balance when we start doing too much of what's destructive for us or too little of what's constructive for us. So I said we must align our thoughts, hearts, and actions with truth. And well, the thing is, people align all the time their thoughts, their actions, their emotions with the truth. But the question is, what is your truth? If your truth is what you use to justify certain negative events in your life or in the world, well then obviously you will think, feel, and behave this way, right? If your truth is that you will know what to do and you will grow and you can adapt and you can, well, find a way, if that is your truth, well, you need some evidence for that. So you need to learn to reflect on your life, to really learn from your own mistakes, right? This is quite powerful because then you recognize, well, in the past it worked out. I worked out and I found ways to resolve what was bothering me. Sometimes it took me 1 week, sometimes 1 month, sometimes 10 years. Yeah, well, sometimes we need more time, right? But you've recognized you always follow your truth. But your truth is a limited truth. It's not what the truth actually is. It's always limited. And when it comes then to spiritual ascension, it comes to expansion of awareness, which means your truth starts expanding. Certain things you thought that are real start falling out, and new understandings come in. New seeds start growing inside of you, and therefore you become a bit richer with knowledge. And then if you apply knowledge in daily life, well, you will make many mistakes, but mistakes will teach you the wisdom, right? And that's what you must understand. When it comes to alignment, it comes to understanding that there is really no mistakes as long as you're open-minded to learn, as long as you have this student mind to learn from what you're doing wrong, what you think you're doing wrong. Because clearly, if your life feels like there's too much of resistance, if it feels like there's lack of fluidity, there's stagnation. And stagnation feels like stress, like tension, like like almost something would be dying inside of you. Like I feel the most stagnant when I'm not using my creativity. So my mind becomes foggy, I become lazy, and I start to feel like everything is worthless, nothing is meaningful. That's how I feel when I'm stagnant. And the way to kind of kill the stagnation or release the stagnant energy is like you need to dig a channel, you need to a bit forcefully do something. So I've recognized, okay, if I feel stagnant in my life, what I need to do, I need to push myself into action. Well, I need to rest if I feel exhausted. Sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes we are exhausted. So I will rest. But then as I'm done with resting, I will push myself into a certain type of action. But action requires clarity. So I've noticed, okay, before I actually push myself into action, I need to make a plan. So what I do, I write down tasks very precisely, what I want to do, what is cluttering my mind, everything that is cluttering my mind, I write it down, and then I prioritize it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all of that, and then I start just doing it from 1 to 10, I start doing it. And that's how I free the stagnation back into flow. And as I start doing it, my mind gets clear, my emotions turn into motivation, into drive, and suddenly I'm not stuck anymore. Suddenly I feel a sense of fire inside of me, and I want to do so many things, like whatever I want to do. So I've recognized, okay, maybe when people feel unmotivated, uninspired, or just stuck, there's stagnation inside of them. And stagnation is supported by mental chaos. And then mental chaos makes us hard to decide, makes our decision-making system very, almost impossible to use. So well, to make good decisions, wise decisions, to know what is the right decision, we need mental clarity. And for mental clarity, well, what works for me the most, I always share with you what works for me the most, is that I write down everything that clutters my mind, like everything I want to do, everything I don't want to do, what I want to achieve, what I don't want to achieve. It's all it's all mental. It's nothing very mystical at this point. It's all mental. But I'm sharing this with this 222 message only because it's a practical use of how to get yourself back into alignment, okay? This is what works for me, and, well, try it out. I'm a very creative person, which means my mind is quite more chaotic as it is maybe for other people. I don't know. I'm not in your mind. Well, my mind is quite chaotic, and I need quite a good order. So I've noticed, okay, firstly, I need to know what is my truth, and that is the spiritual search, right? The spiritual search for the truth. What is your truth? 222 is reminding you that stream of a river will always go towards your truth. So here you must remind yourself, make sure you don't believe into something that will destroy your life. Like if you believe the world is bad, well, your world will be quite bad. If you believe that everything is happening for the good, then everything will happen for the good. But it goes much deeper. Sometimes people think they believe something, but beneath their belief there's a deeper belief. So their behavior often show what they truly believe, right? Sometimes we read a book and then we think, oh, it changed our mindset, but it only cluttered us with new information. We need to reframe our old story so you can understand your deepest drives for your behavior by observing how you really behave, how you really move through life, and how you respond to something you don't like. And that's why certain kind of practices like meditations can be so powerful, because we can go, if we do it correctly, it's not just sitting and trying to concentrate. It's like really being intentional what we want to achieve with a practice. Like when you go into the gym, you need to know why you're going there, right? Or when you start writing, you need to know why you've started writing. You don't do it mindlessly. Same is with meditation. Well, you can do it because you want to relax, you want to let go of stress. But you also do it because you want to ascend to a higher floor, to at the top of the building, to see your life from a higher perspective. And we achieve that if we learn to calm our minds down, if we learn to direct our focus onto the middle point or nothingness, which the most helpful way to do it is to focus on the empty space inside of your body and keep focusing on it and slow down your breathing. Deepen and slow down your breathing, and you will achieve a sense of what we call peace. When you achieve a sense of peace, then you must recognize that the space goes beyond your body. So you start noticing the space above you, below you, around you. And as you keep up stretching your awareness, soon you kind of detach from ego and you become aware that you're actually part of so much more. And that's how you can make progress in this kind of meditative practice, where you expand your awareness and you notice that, well, there's so much more. There's so much more you don't know. But in this state, your brain will already be in a very calm state where you become more receptive for what we call insights, intuitive insights, inspiration, and things like that. So what happens to me many times in this state, I just receive a kind of a practical solution, like this is what you should do, or something like that. It's actually how this YouTube channel started. In meditation, I got an idea, what should I do? How should I combine my paintings with messages and so on? And that's how this journey started. So when I feel like something doesn't work in my life, I do this. So for the last 8, 9, maybe 10 years, I've been using this practice, and it helped me a lot to put myself into alignment. It's not that I don't experience suffering or resistance. I do, and my body tries to fight with it. But because I have experience and memories from the last time it worked, I know, okay, I just need to go into this kind of meditation and just recalibrate myself, because sometimes our bodies become chaotic because minds were chaotic. You need to understand your body will always follow the mind. This is, epigenetics. Epi means above. Above genes is mind. Your body follows the mind. So then you must recognize that you are part of a bigger plan, which is again not something you should just blindly believe. You should never have some blind beliefs about anything. You should always question everything. Sometimes people say, you know what, I'm questioning God, if it's not just some mental constructs, because my life is so hard for such a long time. And that's when I say, congratulations, you've finally come to the point where you've started questioning what you know. This is the best thing that can happen to us. Yes, we may suffer because we're still holding on to old ways of looking on life. Life offered you a new way, but it offered you in a way that's painful to you because, well, you don't want to change, right? We just naturally don't want to change because it takes a lot of energy from us. Change requires a lot of energy, a lot of new focus, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of letting go, and it's all scary and tough because we want to be safe. Your ego is protecting you to feel secure and safe, but your soul is urging you to evolve, right? And usually we evolve when we go through the dark night of the soul. Yes, but the purpose of the dark night of the soul is purification, which is then the white phase in alchemy, the purification phase, where we must question our beliefs. We need to really, we need to observe what we do unconsciously. and do it more consciously. We need to observe our mental reactions that are completely unconscious to what we don't like and reframe them, which means you may say, oh, it's happening again, I'm such a stupid person. And reframing would be, okay, I've repeated the same pattern here, which means I still haven't learned a lesson. So let me study what is the lesson, why this pattern is repeating, why I'm still in the loop of reacting same way, thinking same way, and not changing anything. Well, the answer usually is lack of knowledge, lack of right information. Like, we can go on YouTube and watch some random stuff. Well, when we are in a search for knowledge, we intentionally search what we need, right? And learning, if you've been in school, learning is not just some random jumping around. It must be very well organized. So you don't read just one book about a certain topic, you read 20 books about that same topic. So you gain different perspectives, and then you will have more information about what to do. And then you kind of filter the information into the most practical and simplistic insights, and you take action on them, right? That's how you put yourself back into alignment. So, well, I had no idea I will talk about this on this video, but it's quite important. It's quite important. That's what I found the most useful. But then understanding that there is actually a bigger plan puts you into a position where you wake up to knowing that you still know so little. You can be learning for your whole life, but you still know so little. So the point is that you find a way to never fall into an illusion of believing that you know everything. Yeah, never fall into an illusion of believing that you know everything. Follow the science. Follow the science, because the universe is constantly giving you signs. Like, sometimes we see this numerological alignments like 333, 1111, 444, and things like that. Those are all messages for you. Pay attention. It doesn't even matter what certain number means in this case. I always see this like a message for me that I am aligned. Like, when I see number, I see a message like I am aligned, or if I feel like I'm out of alignment, I will look at it as a reminder, okay, go back into a more coherent state. That's how I choose to look at these things. When you start following the signs, like when I've started painting, I've started seeing signs, like everything was about art. Randomly, I met a very successful painter, for example. Then I went on social, like on Instagram, and I've started seeing so many successful artists there. And the sign for me was, study what they're doing and apply what resonates with you, so you can level up your art journey, right? When I went on YouTube, I've started, seeing signs of what is possible and what resonates with me. And then I've done what I needed to do. So follow the signs. But always be aware, everything connects to everything else. Leonardo da Vinci said, learn how to see. You must learn how to see and recognize everything connects to everything else. So when we don't make this kind of connections in life, we move in circles. And this is called suffering, because it feels like we don't see a way out. Sometimes we're in financial circles, like not seeing a way out, because we don't know how to save money, or we don't know how to make more money, or we just don't know how to invest money. So we always spend as much as we make, or something like that. Health circles as well, relationship circles, like one narcissistic person after another, and so on and so on. And we only move in these circles because we haven't connected the dots. And to connect the dots means to learn the lesson, right? Once you learn a lesson, you elevate yourself. And then that circle moves into an upward spiral, which means you will be still meeting similar things from the previous cycle, but there will be less intense. With less intense negative events, there will be more positive events. So as you see, this upward spiral is getting the circling of the upward spiral is getting slower and smaller and smaller. There's another spiral that starts that is positive one. The positive spiral starts at the same time as the negative starts smallering, the positive starts biggering, starts becoming bigger. And therefore, if you choose to live your life the way that you don't just justify negative events to feel better, you learn from negative events. You don't look so much what other people are doing, but you start looking for how you're responding to other people. And start responding more consciously, more aware, like what is that future you that you want to become, and what that future you has mastered that you're mastering right now to become that new you. And then fully master that in right now. And you know mastery is becoming. It's constantly becoming, living as you're becoming. So you're not waiting for what is coming, you are focusing on becoming, right? Every single moment you know you're becoming. That's where we are reminded that, well, the state of God is truly not a state of perfection. It's a state of becoming. And that's how you use the time the most efficiently. If you're reminded that every single moment you have a chance to become renewed, to become more aware, more conscious, more loving, more present, more compassionate, more kind, and so on, and so on, and so on. The thing is, you are already all of that, but your human nature needs an integration of these greater qualities so you can become it, right? And this is the trial we are on, right? And most people don't want to do these things because it's hard and it requires energy and awareness. Well, it requires energy, so we need to also make our lives the way that we'll have more energy. That's why we need to spend a lot of time under the sun and eat right and be active, move. Your body is an animal. It needs movement, right? We need to clear our minds more frequently because dwelling in your doubts and overthinking drains you from energy, right? Finding clarity, like observing nature, being close to water, and having deep, profound conversations with people who are where you want to be, it feeds you with energy, right? Dwelling in certain negative emotional states drains you from energy. Channeling certain emotional states into some productive activities like art and self-expression and, well, maybe more, I don't know, visiting new places will feed you with energy. So more energy you have, easily you will move through this kind of phases and easily it will be for you to find the alignment, okay? So follow the science, my friend, and don't focus too much on what is coming. Focus on becoming, like I said in the previous video. I will leave you here. I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope you've enjoyed this beautiful scenery. So, see you in the next one, my friends, and big thanks to all of you for choosing to support my art in our store, AttractPassion.com, where you will find all of my paintings. If you want to bring some, powerful energy to your place and you're looking like how to have a place supportive for my evolution, well, art is a wonderful way to achieve that, because painting is like a portal. It brings to you an energy that was used while creating it. And me as an artist, I can tell you, like, I don't know about other artists, but when I'm painting, I am in the highest form of joy I can experience, truly. And that's what most people say when they observe my art. They feel like I feel that joy. Some people start crying when they see my art. And yeah, it's powerful. It's not just looking at it. It's like having it somewhere where it supports you. So if you feel like you need something like that, go and check it out. AttractPassion.com, you will find everything. And also big thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. I hope you found this video helpful and powerful. Until next time, one love.